Greetings and welcome to One Sparkle Love, Spirituality in a Modern World. And I am a holistic nutritionist for over 35 years. And holistic nutrition is the nutrition you put in your mind, nutrition you put in your body, nutrition you put in your emotions, nutrition you put in your spirit, create the 4 quadrants of nutrition. That creates the holistic nutrition. Now, for me, I did 12 hours today and 12 hours last weekend because I'm only getting 1 day off a week. Smack it together and you do your cutting of your veggies and fruits for 24 hours. Now, with that, I grocery shop once every 6 months because we have snow visitors here. And there's too many people in those stores. You can't get in. There's too many people in the parking lot. Their cars. So it's like, I don't need the hassle. I don't need high blood pressure. So I grocery shop once every 6 months. And all of my fruits and vegetables, you dry them in the sun. It's natural. You don't pay for electricity. And when you're cooking, I cook once a week. It saves on so much time. And of course, the third factor would be money. I'm looking more at the time factor. That's the most convenient part for me. I want to make sure I go in and all my veggies and all my fruit, whatever. I just pinch it here, pinch it there, get it all together, put it in the pan, boom, let it do its thing. And while I'm doing my thing, I don't have time to sit there in front of the stove for hours on end. I have a life. I have many other things to do. So for today, we are doing, I had eggplant. So I put on my little indoor barbecue. So I got my eggplant and I covered that in coconut oil. Now the herbs, which I take my, collards, kale, all my veggies, dry them out, and voila, you got an herb. All right, so all my herbs are plant-based, and you mix it all together with some coconut oil. You got garlic, ginger, lion's mane, red leaf lettuce, collards, glucosamine and chondroitin, coriander, moringa, a pinch of sodium bicarbonate, a pinch of calcium, and a pinch of curry. Mix it all together with your coconut oil. Now that's going to go on top of your eggplant. You put it inside the indoor barbecue. And so it's going to fry all those veggies and whatnot into the eggplant. Gives it a very unique flavor. And then plant-based hot dog. With, and I cheated on this one. This one is, you gotta do it every once in a while. It's a canned chili bean for the hot dog. So it's a hot dog chili beans. And on top of the eggplant, I have fresh bell pepper, fresh tomatillos, dried leeks, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and dried cactus pads, prickly pear cactus. It's a veggie. It's very good for you. And so this way I get to try something different with eggplants because it's fresh. It's not dried. So I always have a little bit left over I save for an exclusive type meal such as this. Now for Gemini, we get bored very quickly. So you can find different archetypes. You have Freudian archetype, you have jugular archetype, you have the astrology archetype, and archetypes are basically the negative side of self. It is your inner child. Your inner child must come out and play, or it creates havoc in your life. And when it comes out to play, you must give it a purpose and a direction of what you want to create, so it doesn't create havoc in your life. For Gemini, we get bored easily, so the archetype of a Gemini is the search for variety. Now, in other books, it will state variety is the spice of life. Now, remember, you are giving a purpose in life. Everybody's like, why am I here on earth? Well, you have a purpose. It's your job to figure out what your purpose is. That is your job. You have a job in life and you didn't even know it. My, oh me, oh my. All right, so your job is to give yourself a purpose. Your mama and daddy ain't there. Your boss ain't there. Your aunts and uncles and whoever else is supposed to be in charge of your life, they're not there. You are in charge of your life. It's called emotional maturity. Now, for Aries, search for a separate identity. Taurus, search for value and meaning. Gemini, search for variety. Cancer, search for the mother goddess. Leo, search for being wholeness. Virgo, search for meaningful service. Libra, search for the soulmate. Scorpio, search for the transformation. Sagittarius, search for wisdom. Capricorn, search for Dharma. Aquarius, search for the Holy Grail. Pisces, search for the Castle of Peace. And you can find this list in the book called Archetypes of Zodiac by Kathleen Burt. Now, when you know what your archetype is, you know that you must create a purpose for it. Now, when it comes out to play and it creates havoc in your life, then you must calm it down and give it a purpose. Just like any child, you give it a purpose, a direction to grow. That's why it's called the inner child. And when you give it a purpose to grow, it then becomes emotional maturity. My, will miracles never cease. Now, Gemini, variety is the spice of life. This is why we have like umpteen projects going at one time, because our minds will just flip from here to there because we play mental gymnastics. Now, if we have a purpose, that means we have a goal. And my goal is, for today's meal, I make a list of my foods, and then I go from there. What kind of herbs, what kind of spices, am I going to pan fry? Am I going to boil it? How am I going to prep it, then cook it, in order to have the sanctuary of taste that I want and need? That's what the goal and purpose is. You make a list on everything that you're going to do. You are in control of your purpose. I just gave the list of what your purpose is. You, in turn, your job is to figure out, what does that mean? And in time, eventually, it will pop up on my YouTube or podcast or whatever. In the meantime, it gives you a direction to grow in. And life is love, love is life. Blessings from Reverend Dr. Juanita Lewis, DDIB, PhD, and thank you for your support.